It began, as such things often do, with arrogance. The Thalkor Dominion, lords of the Orion Spur, self-proclaimed heirs to 1,000 conquered worlds, had grown bored. Their expansion stalled at the edge of a small, unremarkable blue system, a place the maps marked as Sol. To them it was a curiosity. To humanity, it was home. When the Dominion's survey ships encountered a human colony on Saren Prime, a fledgling world in the Kepler belt, they laughed. A fragile offshoot of a fragile race, they said. Barely 2 centuries past the age of internal wars, still clutching to the ideal of peace as though it were armor. The Thalkor didn't even issue a declaration. They struck at dawn. The orbital platforms went dark first, snuffed out by precision plasma beams. The cities followed, their spires turned to molten rivers. The planet's atmosphere glowed from orbit as 500,000 civilians burned. Children, engineers, farmers, all erased for what the Dominion commander, Vaith Kor, called a reminder to the lesser races that space is not for the soft. He transmitted the images across the galactic nets, human screams broadcast as warnings to others. His soldiers cheered. His advisors bowed, and somewhere, on a pale blue planet far away, a silence fell. The laughter of empires for weeks. The Thalkor celebrated. In the great citadel of Eroth-Kal, the Dominion Senate gathered under banners woven from the hides of conquered species. The air shimmered with the scent of victory. Couriers from neighboring empires arrived to pay tribute or to mock the humans in action. They plead for peace, one envoy sneered, showing intercepted transmissions, diplomatic condolences, aid requests, condolences upon condolences. They weep, not fight. Even the scholars of the Orion Concord wrote that Earth lacked the temperament for war. Too empathetic, they said. Too fragile. Too civilized. The Thalkor commander Vaith Kor toasted to it. Fragile things break, and when they do, they stay broken. He didn't see the transmissions cease. He didn't notice the silence spreading through the Terran channels. No responses, no outrage, no speeches of vengeance. Just nothing. The galaxy mistook that silence for fear. But it wasn't fear. It was the quiet before a storm. The silence before the storm. 47 hours after the fall of Saren Prime, the Sol Defense Network went dark to the outside galaxy. All public feeds shut down. Civilian communications ceased. Even diplomatic lines went silent. And deep beneath the surface of the Pacific Ocean, in a facility that didn't officially exist, the Terran Unified Command gathered. No politicians. No debates. No hesitation. Just one sentence spoken by Admiral Rei Ishikawa. Authorization. Iron Tempest. Global engagement. And Earth, so long mocked for its fragility, moved. Orbital shipyards that had lain dormant since the peace accords flared back to life. The Aegis Vaults, humanity's hidden reserve fleets, opened their hangar doors for the first time in a century. Dreadnoughts rose from the oceans, cloaked in salt spray and thunder. The civilian sectors were not informed. They didn't need to be. This was not a war for the public to follow. This was vengeance made steel. Across Luna, Mars, and Titan, encrypted commands spread like lightning. Factories roared. Plasma forges screamed. Thousands of ships, carriers, frigates, and cruisers formed a single line under one banner. In the void, a simple message pulsed from Earth Command to every human fleet. No mercy. No surrender. No warning. The echoes of terror. 3 weeks after Saren Prime burned, the first Dominion world fell silent. At first, it seemed like a glitch. Planetary sensors blinked out. Then the orbital defense grids followed. A patrol ship sent to investigate reported contact with unknown energy fields, then disintegrated. Mid-transmission, the humans had arrived. The fleet that descended on the Thalkor outpost of Viridian was not like any the Dominion had faced. No shining banners, no boasts. Their ships were matte black, edges glowing faintly with atmospheric heat as they tore through the upper layers. Their weapons, kinetic, nuclear, plasma hybrid, were silent until impact. Each shot shattered continents. Each strike turned oceans to steam. A human voice, cold and unbroken, echoed across Dominion comms. For Saren Prime. Then the channel filled with static. The Thalkor counterattacked, but every fleet they sent vanished. Every intercept point became a graveyard of twisted hulls. Human AIs jammed their systems. Their admirals found their coordinates scrambled. Their reinforcements arrived at empty sectors, only to find black monoliths drifting there, broadcasting the screams of Saren Prime back to them. The galaxy watched and trembled. The rising tempest. What humanity unleashed next was not an army. It was an element. They came like weather. In the night skies of Thalkor colonies, clouds formed where no atmosphere should have allowed them. Lightning carved patterns in orbit, guided by directed energy cannons. The humans called the operation Tempest Protocol. The aliens had thought Earth fragile because its storms seemed beautiful. They had never seen those storms weaponized. Atmospheric control drones turned the very air of Thalkor worlds against them. Oxygen igniting in controlled bursts, pressure waves flattening cities. Human command ships hovered above like silent moons, watching the chaos below. When the Thalkor tried to surrender, their transmissions were ignored. This was not negotiation. This was reckoning. In a last desperate move, the Dominion unleashed their Worldbreaker fleet, 2,000 warships, each capable of planetary annihilation. They didn't even make it halfway. The human dreadnought UNS Ragnarok met them head-on at the Altheon Rift. Its rail cannons alone cracked open their formation. Behind it, 50 Valkyrie-class cruisers unleashed storm torpedoes, atmospheric weapons designed to mimic hurricane vortices in space. The battlefield became a spiral of thunder and fire. The Dominion admirals screamed into the void for retreat, but the void did not answer. Only one transmission escaped the carnage, recorded on dozens of channels before being silenced. They move like storms, and they do not stop. The storm that consumed empires be the 4th month, the Dominion ceased to exist. The Thalkor homeworld of Aroth Kal burned beneath skies that glowed crimson from re-entry debris. Its once proud towers, etched with the victories of 10,000 years, were erased in a single orbital strike. No human troops landed. There was no need. Humanity had learned the cost of mercy on Saren Prime. Instead, they unleashed Tempest Zero, a weapon not meant to destroy life, but to erase legacy. Every archive, every record, every monument of the Thalkor Dominion turned to dust. The race that had mocked humanity's fragility was reduced to a whisper in the cosmic wind. In the Senate chambers, where Vaith Kor once toasted his victory, the walls melted into slag, and on every frequency once used to boast of human weakness, a single message looped endlessly. This was your storm. The other empires, once eager to mock Earth, fell silent. They watched their fleets retreat from human space, their diplomats trembling before empty chairs. No one knew where the Terran fleets went after Aroth Kal's fall. Some said they returned to Sol. Others claimed they simply vanished, waiting in the dark. But the galaxy never forgot the sight of their passing. Whole systems swallowed by silence, clouds forming in the void, lightning dancing across the hulls of black ships. Aftermath. The world that waited months later. When the first explorers dared to approach Saren Prime again, they found it rebuilt. Cities rising from ash, forests regrown through nanobot rewilding. At the heart of the rebuilt colony stood a monument of obsidian. No inscriptions, no names, just a reflection of stars above and the world below. The people of Earth never celebrated the war. There were no parades, no banners, only quiet rebuilding, quiet mourning, quiet remembrance. But elsewhere, in the dark corners of the galaxy, the survivors of the Thalkor scattered. Refugees, mercenaries, ghosts, they spoke in hushed tones about what they had seen. They told their children, never speak the name of Earth, never cross its borders, never wake its storm. Because somewhere in the endless night, humanity still watched. Their satellites still drifted in the dark, eyes unblinking. Their weapons still hummed, dormant but ready. And if ever again, someone mistook Earth's kindness for weakness, they would remember what the Thalkor learned too late. Fragile things break, but Earth shatters back. Epilogue. The whisper in the void decades later. A transmission was found, old, degraded, drifting at the edge of known space. It came from a Thalkor survivor ship. Engines long dead, its crew mummified in their chairs. The last log read, "We thought their storms beautiful. We thought their oceans gentle. We thought their hearts fragile. But when they came for us, the sky itself turned against us." The recording ended with static, and a final pulse of data, faint but clear. A human voice, calm, cold, timeless. The storm is patient. The storm remembers. And in that silence, the galaxy understood. Earth was not fragile. It was the eye of the storm. And when its calm broke, empires died.